Starting. All right, guys. Welcome to the 54 podcast. Right before we start and jump in, we're going to start with the intro.
Live from New York.
I don't talk now.
It's unfortunately us.
See, I know it makes you angry, so I do it. Is it still going on?
How long is this song? Goddamn!
There we go. We got it. It doesn't matter. I just edit in the actual song when it's over, so it doesn't fucking matter. Anyhow, guys, welcome to the 54.
You've been editing those out every time?
Yes, I have.
God, you are a piece of shit, Joseph.
You're the piece of shit. Shut the fuck up. All right. Today we got Lazarus Almeida, Matthew Berg, and Chase Fry with us on the 54 podcast. Everybody, welcome. Today we're just going to be talking about some random bullshit as we usually do, but with a bit more insight this time. So, if you guys don't know, Laz is now a main member of the 54. We met in high school. We've been close friends since. So he's going to be joining permanently on almost every broadcast going forward. Laz, would you like to introduce Matthew, since you've been closer to him?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Berg, he can introduce himself, I'm sure, but he is one of my best friends from college. He's actually just recently graduated from Rowan University, and he's planning on becoming a teacher in the near future whenever life actually returns to normal. On the side, he likes...
children?
Huh?
A teacher of children?
In some ways, I'm sure.
Well, I was asking him, not you, Laz. Are you the one becoming a teacher?
Well, no, I thought I was still introducing him.
Well, can't he introduce himself?
That's what I started with. I started with, can he introduce himself?
You know what? I'm gonna introduce myself, guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. My name's Matt. Matthew is on my birth certificate, but yeah, pretty much I graduated Rowan University to become a high school teacher in the field of history.
All right.
Oh, that's cool.
What would you say is your favorite historical period?
Yo, I'll be honest with you. Like in middle school, I had this one teacher, and he would talk about the pyramids, and I was so fucking fascinated. Like I was like, how? Yeah, so like Egypt, Rome, like around that time period. But really, from teaching, like U.S. history, I really like U.S. history a lot more.
Oh yeah, actually, Berg, didn't you intern at a place where you had to dress up as a colonial person for like every day you went in?
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up. So I took this one class in college called like internship in history, and we had to do internships in public history, such as like museums and like historical societies. And I interned at this place in Trenton called the Old Barracks Museum. And I didn't know we had to dress up, but we had to dress up in like colonial uniforms.
Oh my god.
So literally, I was wearing tights, bro. That's the only time I'll ever wear tights.
That's like Colonial Williamsburg. I remember when I went back there, like all those places, everybody's in the entire town is dressed like period accurately. It's
How did the tights feel on your thighs? Because I know if you get the right pair of tights, they feel very good on your thighs.
Honestly, bro, like these tights, they did not feel good, man. They did not feel. Bro, there's like these. You have to wear these things called like breeches. It's weird. So like, I'll describe this to you. You wear like these long ass wool socks, and they go up to like your quad.
Oh, that's how fucking high they go.
Yeah,
look, I've already learned. The first time we've had a teacher on the podcast, I've already learned something.
It's probably the most Chase has learned in a while.
It's like this is
That's
how like
the most I've learned in months.
yeah, like how these people dressed is like so in depth, man. There's like 7 steps to this. Like on the torso, you wear like 3 layers, and then like on like for the pants, you wear like 2 layers, and then you wear these uncomfortable. Like, you ever seen the box with the Quaker person on it with the oatmeal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I dressed like that.
Oh, fucking hell! And could you imagine that people like only 200 years ago like would dress like that every day? They had to get ready every day, putting all of that shit on. That's fucking insane, dude.
Like at first, it took me 20 minutes to put all that shit on, but like when I was like got the hang of it, it took like 2 minutes.
Oh my fucking hell! Still though,
I would just walk around naked.
Yeah, and then we learned like musket drills, and I was able to shoot a musket. That was pretty cool.
I've heard those are loud as fuck. I can't really
Oh my,
remember.
bro, they are so loud. The first time they shot one, like I literally like ducked for cover, man. It was scary.
It
Wait, a
sounds-
real musket?
Like, it's not
Yeah,
like
like a real musket, isn't it?
yeah, like that. I think it's not like a musket from that time, but like it's just like they just like remade. It's like a model.
Oh, it's like a recreation.
Yeah, like we learned musket drills, and then it was just very intense. And like loading it, it's like such a tedious ass process.
How long would you say it takes to load a musket, in your professional opinion?
So like a good like a soldier is able to load it twice in a minute.
Really?
It's weird. So you have the gunpowder, and it's in this like pouch or whatever, and you like bite the tip off. That sounds wrong as fuck, but like you pretty much you pretty much bite it off,
But
and then
everyone knows
like
you're talking about musket powder, not penises.
hey man, it's 2020, man. I don't question these things anymore.
Yeah, look, sure, but you still shouldn't be biting tips off.
Hey man,
We're
just
just
a tip,
not
right?
there yet. We're just not there yet.
You should never get there.
That's fair. That's fair, Chase. But you were saying that like the loading process. What are you saying? You bite the tip off and then what?
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
bite off the packet of like the gunpowder, and then you like
Okay.
pour it in, then with the musket ball, and then like after there's like this rod on the bottom, and you like take and you pack it in,
That I've seen. Yeah, I've seen people actually do the packing process.
and you shoot, bro. That shit is so like it's so difficult, and if you really wanted to, you could put the rod in the musket and shoot the rod out. But why would you do that?
Yeah, wait, hold on. So you're saying that they could have been launching is basically a spear at people?
Bro,
This
that
entire
It's like a
time?
harpoon.
You can,
It's like a harpoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can. It fits, man.
Yeah, but like muskets from those days didn't have rifling, so you just shoot it and it'd go like in every fucking direction.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
And
be.
that's-
It wouldn't be accurate at all.
Now,
Yeah, what's up?
what's a very interesting thing that you learned from your time at this internship? Like, what would you say is something about New Jersey in particular? Because it was in Trent, New Jersey, right? What would you say is something that is something that people wouldn't really know too much about from that time period that you think people should?
Bro, that like smallpox. I feel like we like learn about smallpox, but like a lot of people don't know like how deadly of a disease that actually was. Like this museum, like they did this thing called like inoculations, and it's pretty much the equivalent to like a modern day vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And like in this like barracks was used as a hospital to treat smallpox for soldiers.
Damn.
Really.
Yeah, so there's like all these, like back then, a lot of the medical stuff, it didn't work, man. It just
Yeah.
didn't. Like there's a thing called bloodletting.
Oh yeah.
Thank
yeah.
God we don't
That's
do
when
that
they would
anymore.
like open small wounds on you until like all the bad blood would come out, right, or something like that.
Oh yeah, with the humors.
Yeah, they did it to
Wait,
Washington.
Do we not do that anymore?
No, Chase.
I hope not.
I think we.
I mean,
stopped
are
with
you
that.
doing
I
that?
think I need to sue my doctor.
Chase, if you do, you're getting tortured.
Yeah, I need to bring a lawsuit against my doctor.
You good, Chase?
He's using medieval practices on me.
What other medieval practices has this motherfucker been using on you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He's not a good doctor.
I do not have the clearance to talk about it. I signed a non-disclosure agreement saying that I couldn't talk about the things my doctor does to me.
We'll talk about it in court.
Fair enough, man. Which, by the way, I found a good way to loop you in, Chase. Matt, you mentioned earlier that you were really interested in the pyramids when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
So I was actually wondering, from your professional perspective, how do you think the pyramids were built? Because this is a point of debate
boy.
for a lot of people, including
Uh-oh.
Chase.
It's not a point of debate. It's a
Look,
historical
Matt.
fact.
We've gotten along up until this point, but I'm worried this is going to be the great divide in our friendship.
Honestly, man, like it's just so weird because I can't imagine how they like carried the stones like up to like build it in the structure.
Very
Like
carefully.
how they like built it like curving in like that. Everyone says aliens. I find that interesting though. It definitely could have been maybe, but
Well, it definitely was.
Oh
I'm
no,
glad-
it definitely wasn't.
Well, it was, Les.
All right, there is historical evidence that the people who cut these huge ass blocks moved them through the sand. There is evidence of them moving it. They even buried the people who built them in the pyramids.
Are you denying?
Or near them? My bad.
Are you denying ancient aliens?
I'm denying History Channel.
Area 51.
Yeah.
Area 52.
No. Did you guys ever see the Looney Tunes movie where
Yeah,
they
that's
actually
right. That's why I
visited
made the
Area
reference.
52?
Yeah, that's
Oh my god.
I watched it the other day. I was reminded of it.
Brendan
But-
Fraser, whatever happened to him?
He's actually in that DC show, Doom Patrol or whatever. He plays that big robot. But whatchamacallit, I was gonna mention that, you know, like, Chase, you know how they actually cut those stones down, right? Like how they flatten them? Or did I explain that to you? Because you know how on the inside...
I'm sure your explanation has a lot of science and fact and fun behind it. But I'm going to tell you what really happened.
Okay.
Aliens. That's all you need to know. That's how they were made.
So you have no other theory for how they could have possibly built it?
No.
Just aliens?
There's no other logical explanation, okay? we couldn't even build pyramids until recently. Like,
That's
we didn't
not true.
understand it.
That's
How are these ancient people supposed
Listen,
to do
man,
it?
I build a pyramid every single time I use the bathroom.
Well, you need to go to the hospital.
You need help.
No,
I can refer you to a doctor.
No, I don't want to see your doctor.
His doctor has those good tactics, you know, those techniques. So
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting trip to the doctor for sure.
Listen, man. You know,
It's like,
I was always interested by that story because it's just, for a lot of people, it is like a point of debate, even though there is fact behind it. A lot of people are very adamant that there's no way people in that era could have possibly built something like that. Although it seems relatively simple because it's a pyramid, so like you only have to
But
build.
it's not simple.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay, I'm going to give you some stones. I'm going to give you a lot of giant stones, Joseph, and you build me a pyramid as good as that
look,
one.
I'm not
And
saying
then
I could do
And
it.
then I will admit to you that there are no aliens. But
Look,
until
look,
then, aliens did it.
I'm not saying I could do it. What I'm saying is this civilization existed before wheels. They didn't have wheels, and they managed to be able to build.
wait, hold on. They definitely had wheels.
No.
Wait.
Ancient Egypt didn't have wheels. They used sleds.
Oh, wait, hold on. All right, let's let Berg cut in here. Did wheels exist in ancient Egypt?
bro, no, I didn't want to say anything about this. I'll plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth?
I mean, you could look it up if you want. It's genuine. They couldn't come up with an axle strong enough. Like, it wasn't the wheel itself. It was the fact that there were no axles that could support the weight of the things they wanted to transport. Again, that's from
But wheels existed. But wheels existed.
Yeah, they just weren't used for labor like
They weren't used for this project because they were lifted up by alien spacecraft.
Oh my god.
No, Laz, don't say, oh my god. I'm going to provide you with fact, okay?
Bro, they were homies with the aliens.
They were homies with the aliens. Thank you, Matt. He's a teacher of children and he knows more about the aliens than you do.
This is fucking great.
If I ever teach ancient Egypt, I'll be like, they were homies with the aliens.
Yeah, bro. That's all you need
The
to
end.
know.
The end.
It's like, how did they
So-
build those fucking things? It's like UFOs, you know? That's how
So
they-
Chase, who shot JFK?
Aliens.
Well, maybe. I'm not denying that aliens didn't do it. We don't know what they have their hands in. Look, the lizard people are everywhere, Laz. Okay?
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer.
He's
maybe.
also a lizard person.
I remember I had an uncle who was very into the whole lizard people conspiracy theory. Like, he was very into it. Like, he would sit me down, and I was probably 11 years old. He would sit me down and be like, show me videos, and just like, oh yeah, you can see their reptilian skin peeking out here, and I'm just like, bro, I just want to go back to playing Xbox, man.
Is this the
Like-
same uncle, or do you just have a very
No,
specific
this is a
family?
different uncle. This is
He's
a different
Modern Warfare
uncle.
2.
I have uncles from various spectrums of the conspiracy theory spectrum and other spectrums.
We're going to do a podcast with all your uncles.
Ah, Dev.
Bro, I can imagine Laz's uncle having a bunch of whiteboards around like the room with like all these pictures of who the alien people could be.
I could picture
Like,
the
it's always
the
sunny
leader.
thing.
He's like drawing arrows between them.
Yeah, like It's Always Sunny. Charlie from.
Yeah, that episode where Charlie's got all the fucking shit pinned on his wall. Oh,
I haven't watched It's Always Sunny in a while.
dude, have you seen season 14?
Dude, I don't know. I just watch. Sometimes it's on and I watch it.
Oh no, dude, you got to watch the new one. It's great. I mean, it ends on a weird note, but it's great. But aside from It's Always Sunny, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So I guess it's funny because anything that we talk about in historical context, anything that Matt brings up, I'm sure Chase is just gonna say it's aliens, regardless.
No.
Let's roll with it. Roll with the narrative.
We could roll with it. I don't mind.
Roll with it. Roll with it.
All right.
Okay, sure.
All right. Fine. Chase, why don't you ask a question? Why don't you ask a historical question that you might be interested in?
I mean, the issue is I know everything.
You know everything.
I know pretty much everything.
Big brain.
All right. What color is my underwear right now?
Probably, Laz is probably wearing a purple.
I mean, maybe I'm colorblind, but it looks blue to me.
That's close to purple. At least I didn't
guess.
say yellow.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who wears yellow underwear?
Yeah, who
Yeah,
wears yellow
that's
underwear?
true.
Fuck with yellow underwear.
How can you hide the shit stains?
I
Yeah, for real.
don't even own a pair of yellow underwear.
Do you have any, Chase, do you have
I
any
don't
yellow
own underwear.
Oh, dude, I have like 5 pairs of yellow underwear.
No, you
Oh,
don't. I
alright.
get it.
The closest I have to yellow underwear is actually like a set of Batman boxers. I'm pretty sure that I got like as a gift. It has the cape and everything in the back.
Wait,
What?
It has like a
Wait,
mini half cape.
the fucking boxers have a cape attached to
Has
them?
a
Yeah.
flap? It has a flap.
Yeah, like not like a flap, but it's literally it attaches. So there's 2 little Velcro squares on the back of the underwear, like on your ass, and you attach this mini cape that has a Batman logo on it and everything. I lost the cape somewhere. I think it's somewhere in my room.
So that cape
That's
is
a good way to
protection
get a
for
girl to
wedgies.
pull her pants back up.
Yeah.
Try getting
I
laid
mean-
while wearing
Bro.
those.
Oh no, I have. It's a funny conversation.
Oh, you have? You got laid when you were wearing... Oh, that's fucking amazing. Oh my god.
What?
Wait, you got laid while you were wearing them?
Well, not like while I gotta take my underwear off, obviously. But
Yeah,
Yeah, but you were wearing them when
Yeah.
you got into the sexual situation to get laid.
I guess yeah.
No, Laz does it in between the slit of the boxers.
Yeah.
Either that girl has no standards, or she was really
possible.
into you.
Bro, in the
All right,
back
both
of
are
her head,
possible.
in the back of her head, she wanted Superman underwear.
you wanted a little cape.
It's like,
settle for
God
that.
damn it,
God
I'll
damn.
settle for Batman.
Like wrong superhero.
Oh, dude. That's fucking... What the... This conversation went from, like, being somewhat
Have you seen
legitimate-
have you seen those pictures of the dude dressed in full Batman gear in the protest?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. That was in Philly.
that was pretty dope.
I
Yeah.
am not.
That was fucking cool. But I mean he's prepared anyways, but
Yeah.
still. Whatchamacallit? Before we delve back into crazy shit, I was actually going to ask cuz you mentioned this earlier, Laz. Matt, I was wondering, like, how do you see, like, the future of education evolving, like, after all of this, after COVID and whatnot?
It's like, I don't know, that's a good question. I guess there's like when you like ask me that question, there's like a bunch of things like going through my head. Like one,
We
like
can
is there
go
gonna be
through
yeah, like is there gonna be a second wave? Like that's something to really think about of the coronavirus. And if like, cause I was student teaching, and I didn't really like at first students really brought this up as like a meme. I was like I rolled with it. Like I didn't really understand the severity of the coronavirus. And then like when schools like got canceled for the rest of the year, and then like I guess if you asked me this question like a month ago compared to now, my answers would be like a lot different. But I guess in terms of like the future of education, I guess like the online learning like could be a possibility if there's a second wave. Like students would have to stay at home. And then like for me, like what I used was Google Classroom. Like normally I would just put a video of myself up. I would just tell them, I would post the assignments or the PowerPoint. I would just explain what they have to do. And they would do the assignments and I would grade that. They would hand that in. But I guess towards like, if we're actually like in school, like high school, middle school, elementary school, I feel like things such as like eating lunch in the cafeteria could change.
Yeah.
I was watching I was reading an article or something, like a video on YouTube, and like it could be a possibility of maybe like the face mask. Students could be wearing those in school, or they could
Really?
like eat lunch in the classroom maybe.
Hmm.
What
That
wait, what?
brings me back to in-school suspension when they would just bring the food to the classroom.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if have you guys ever been in school suspension when you guys were in high school?
I wasn't,
'cause
but I'm
a
aware.
kid.
Maybe you guys should have tried being more fun.
I was born as
I
fun.
was fun, but I was fun outside of school. I didn't want to give people like Matt a hard time because I was a good kid.
No, Chase.
I didn't even give people a hard time. I don't know what I did. I think it was I skipped so many lunch detentions that I eventually got like an after school detention, and I skipped that because I guess I don't know. I was like 15, and then that
why were
eventually
you
became
getting
in-school
lunch
suspension.
detentions? Why were you getting
Bro,
lunch
I
detentions?
don't. I have no idea, to be honest, man. That was years ago.
He was
No,
throwing
because
apples.
you were being a bad kid and you want to deny it.
Maybe I don't
Put you on the
remember.
spot.
Everything past the age or before the age of 14, I'm pretty sure I don't remember.
Really? You don't remember anything before you were 14?
No, I
That
remember
sounds like
plenty
some
of it. I remember
trauma.
plenty. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just dude, like, oh yeah, I can't remember the first 14 years of my life. How's your life doing?
No, I definitely do. It was
Bro, that's just a weird flex.
I remember playing a lot of video games.
Right?
That is a
He remembers all the trick shots on Rust.
Yeah. Dude,
I remember every single Marine I lost in the Halo 3 campaign.
that's fucking great.
Everyone, they haunt my dreams at night.
Oh no.
I never
RIP
played the
Masters.
Halo 3 campaign, so that joke went
What?
right over my head.
How the hell did you never play?
You never played the Halo
You were
3
about all of you were about to antagonize me right now, but
Oh, we were all about to take
Yeah,
a
I've
but
shit.
you
never-
wanted to-
I've
Oh,
never played Halo 3.
Who
Never?
are you?
Wait,
Bro, how do you sleep at night,
I've
Joseph?
played Halo 1, 2, Reach, and 4, and that's it. I've never played 3.
Literally worse than Hitler.
Thank you.
I mean, so what? So how did you play every one except for 3? Did you just
No, I
decide,
didn't play
oh man,
everyone
I
'cause
hate
haven't
3?
played ODST or like what is it, Halo Wars.
Wait,
but-
so what games were you playing during like Halo 3?
I mean, I just kept playing 2. I just played 2 and 1. I never
What?
got 3. Yeah, and I still have them. Like I still have Halo. Well, I have 2. I don't know where the fuck 1 is, but I have 2. So
Well, they're planning on remastering it and releasing it as part of like the Halo
isn't that what the
Master Chief Collection
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have not bought the second one or the first one. I only bought like Reach. But as soon as 3 comes out, I'm pretty sure I might nut in my pants.
Honestly, I might. You know what? I might give it a shot if they re-release it because
You're gonna have to give it a shot, Joseph. Like we're gonna play that.
All right, fine. You know what? You don't have to come at me like that. I'll do it.
I just don't understand because Halo 3 for a lot of people was a big part of their
No,
childhood.
and
at least people
that's
my age.
why I said. That's why I prefaced that you guys are probably
That
going to hate me.
actually explains so much about you, Joseph.
Yeah,
It all makes sense now.
It all makes
Yeah.
sense. You never played Halo 3.
I understand why you're this person
That's
and why
why-
you wear those handcuffs.
Thank you. Apparently, Halo 3 is what fucked me up, or the lack thereof. But back to what we were talking about before we get roped into a Halo conversation.
Joseph, you did it yourself, man. No,
I did do it myself.
Nobody even provoked you to tell people that. You just came out and said
He
it.
like brought it up.
He was
He brought it up, and I was like, might as well mention it.
he was so proud to say it too.
I know. He thought,
I'm like a mental case, it needs to be studied. But whatchamacallit? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, Matt. I was also wanted to ask you, like, how do you think education is going to change going forward? Not just in the general sense, but like online learning. Do you think that's going to change the way that things are moving forward? Do you think it's going to stay permanently, or do you think it's going to fade away?
Like, it's like hard. I guess it really just depends on how the coronavirus is gonna play out in the future. But I feel like definitely for the time being, like I guess personally, a lot of older teachers, I feel like didn't really know how to use like the technology, like weren't like super familiar with it. So it definitely like served a purpose to like help in the classroom because technology is becoming more prevalent now.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, I'm losing thought of these questions you asked me. But in terms of like the technology, I feel like it's there to stay. Like
Okay.
it may not it may not be the same, like it is now. Like I feel like it'll definitely come back to a time where like the classroom will be the same as when like we were all in school, like high school. But it'll definitely be a good like backup plan or be on the back burner just in case anything were to happen.
You don't think that the way things are now might change the way that students view incentive when they're sitting in class or whatnot? Because I think, from what I've seen, or at least talking to some people, they seem to think that education won't revert back to its normality. I don't think it's that intense, but what's your opinion on that?
I feel like it's hard to really say, to like how it will all be in the future, but it may not like be the same in terms of like how we were in school, but I feel like it will definitely change. Like this change may be like super big and maybe just like small, but it will definitely change like how students like learn for the most part.
I know that for me at least, it's definitely been apparent that a lot of my older professors were not very well versed in how to switch over to the technological standpoint. I literally had a professor who, when the whole lockdown procedure went into effect around spring break, so middle of March, he said, well, I'm working on recording lectures that I'll upload. And then that slowly became, it didn't really work too well. So whatever your final, like you can take your final exam and submit that, and that'll be your grade. And it was really weird to see it go from a class that I was really interested in to something that was essentially, I just wrote an essay and that was my grade for the entire class.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good to see.
And I've seen that too. I've seen how, assignments kind of don't have the same prevalency that they did before. It just seems like for certain.
Well, there's not the same level of engagement.
Right.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. I think a lot of people are probably the least engaged they've ever been in years when it comes to education. I mean, most students, don't even pay attention when they're on the video calls or hearing a lecture now. But again, it's like it's easier to be distracted at home than it is, in a classroom setting. So it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. And that like brings you back to the point that Laz brought up with like older teachers. And like when this like happened, we had like I never imagined I would be in a staff meeting for like a high school, since I've like recently just like graduated high school like years ago. But yeah, a lot of the teachers weren't really prepared for this new change. And I guess back to what you said, Joe, with like how it changed like teaching, I think it changed the way for teachers like how they see teaching. Because like a lot of older teachers didn't really like change their ways of like teaching in the classroom,
right?
And it kind of forced teachers to really change in terms of how they teach students. And it's like, to me, I find it hard to like teach students like online because they're not really engaged. Like all the homework that you give them, they can just search it up on Google, and like asking questions is like hard because if they ask me a question at 8 o'clock, chances are I'm not going to answer that.
Right.
Yeah. Do you feel like it turned teaching into basically a full-time job, or a round-the-clock job more so?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because like for like what I did with my teacher, so from like 10 to 11, that was like our office hours. So we would just be in front of this computer, like ready to answer any questions that they asked. And I guess you could say in a way, it is a lot more like on the clock. Because for me, like the school day is like 7:30 to like 3, but it kind of really changed to like 12.
12
like
at night or
like 12, just like 12 in the afternoon. I would just like go on like sporadically throughout the day, or it's like whenever I really felt like it.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely think that going forward, it'll be interesting to see. I know that our college, or the college that Berg graduated from and I'm currently attending, they're planning on offering in-person classes for the fall, as well as online and hybrid classes. It'll definitely be interesting to see which way that goes. It'll be interesting to see whether or not universities choose to like opt in or opt out of these online programs. So like you can choose whether or not you want to be there in person, or you can choose whether or not you want to attend the class online for that semester. That's what it seems like they're going towards. But it'll definitely be interesting to see.
I noticed that it's also changed people's perception of online classes in general, because
Yeah,
before
I-
people never really, it was seen as like a lower standard for learning, and now or at least that's the way I felt most people viewed it, and now it
the
seems
like University of Phoenix kind of deal.
right, yeah, and now it seems to be it's spreading across the most colleges and whatnot, so I feel like it's
Yeah,
going
well, everybody's having to do it now.
Right.
So it's like,
so I
it's
feel
not
like
as low standard.
That's why
But is that going to change is that going to change the way people view like the University of Phoenix now? Like, oh well,
Like they're like the
Yeah.
Harvard. They're like Harvard now.
yeah.
I remember actually we
Exactly.
joked in our fraternity's group chat. We kind of did joke about like, oh, okay, when are we gonna start a University of Phoenix chapter like offline? That would definitely be interesting to see. I don't think that University of Phoenix is going to become more prestigious as a result. They're probably more better equipped to handle this transition because it's basically what they've been doing this entire
Nothing
time.
has changed.
Yeah,
for them.
exactly. Nothing has changed.
right. So like those schools are perfectly fine during this whole pandemic because they've just been doing what they always do. Which that's where like they kind of win in this category because they came into this prepared already, whereas like the normal higher, more prestigious schools weren't able to keep up in that regard. So that's why I say it shows like a contrast between what people used to think about online learning compared to what it actually is now.
It's probably the first thing University of Phoenix has won ever.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, though,
It was.
they have clout now.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
clout now, definitely.
They have clout, and I feel like a lot of people just don't really like online learning.
I
Like,
definitely don't.
I feel like if I have to learn like through a screen, like it's like I like the in person like learning. I feel like it's
Right.
like more engaging, as like Chase brought up.
Yeah, well, I think it's harder to be as like involved online, to be as like dedicated to what you're learning. Like it's a whole different setting when you're there with like other people and a teacher and you get to like interact and stuff like you were saying. So I don't know, it's interesting to see how people's engagement is going to go with this whole thing.
I know one of my friends actually, he dropped out of the term when it switched to online because he has ADHD. And he found that it was very difficult for him to focus to online lectures. And he literally dropped out for the rest of the semester. So that was definitely, it definitely does impact people to a real extent.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I sounded like I had something else there, but I didn't.
Yeah, and you remind me of something. It's definitely like think about in school, like students that have like ADHD or like other like intellectual like disabilities, like how are they going to be like supported through like online learning?
Right. 'Cause I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like-
a good point because most schools, they're like, they have a special class for them or they have a special program just to help them get through. And those are very hands-on, like engaging programs. So how do you transition that to like an online setting, or how do you transition that to like a, just something you can do without physically being there?
Right.
Yeah,
Because I feel like
it's hard
students that fall under that category, they benefit more from in-person tangible learning.
Sure.
Which they don't get that from looking at a screen, and it's probably harder to engage them through a screen. So it's that's another situation that I honestly haven't heard anything about. I don't know how that's being tackled at the moment, but it's something that people are going to have to look at.
And definitely, and like I know when, like for me, like I never really like dealt with any students that like had like maybe a few students like there's like always a couple in every class that have like ADHD, and then like you can see like their accommodations, like what that like extra time like with like tests, or they take a test in another classroom, or you just like give them like guided notes or something like that. But I can't really like, it's definitely hard to see how that's gonna work out online for someone who does have ADHD and has a hard time focusing like that, especially when you can like have Steam opened like
Yeah.
on your computer when you're learning. Like,
Yeah. Right.
I know that for me personally, I mean, I don't have ADHD personally, but I know that even despite that, it's still been difficult for me to adjust to it because there are just simply when I sit down to do my work, I think of, oh, okay, well, I could be doing this, I could be doing that, I could be doing this.
Yeah.
Options that I didn't have when I was just sitting in a classroom for an hour and 15 minutes. With an hour and 15 minutes where it was just wholly undivided, okay, this is my time to learn.
Well,
And
even when I was sitting in an hour classroom for an hour and 15 minutes, I was still thinking of other things I could be doing. So how the fuck am I supposed to get on the computer and do those things?
Right. Because you're just distracted normally when you're just sitting in a
I'm
classroom.
always distracted.
Right. Well, maybe that says something about you, Chase.
I'm distracted right now.
Yeah, but people get distracted. You need to engage them on the computer too. We need to think about those.
Yeah.
We need to think about the chases of the world.
Yeah, it's like in the classroom, it's like a lot easier to address to students if they're distracted and get them back on track. But when you're in front of a computer, there's no one to really tell you hey, you should do this. Hey, we're reading something.
Well, when you were in the classroom, how would you get people back into when you saw that they were losing attention? How would you get them back into it?
Hey, motherfucker, pay attention.
Honestly, it just really depends. Personally, it didn't really happen too much, but it just depends on how I plan my lessons. It just most of the time when students are in the classroom, they're probably gonna be bored as fuck. But I guess how I would plan my lessons that I would try to make them engaging enough that even if they're bored or distracted, they have to participate in some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
And that could, be through where we're reading something, or I'm having them do a group project, and I'm walking around the classroom and just checking on what they're doing. So, or just asking the class questions for them to answer.
I feel like it's probably easier to get them back in or rope them back in once you start getting to know them individually.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Once you start figuring them out as individuals, it's easier to rope them back in and learn how to get each and every one and get their attention back in focus. But that's obviously a longevity thing. You have to be in there for a while.
But yeah, it's super hard to get them back on track when we're talking about things such as like Lil Uzi's new album or something, or Pop Smoke, and Kobe, R.I.P. Kobe, but
Yeah, I remember when that happened. I was at work.
I was playing paintball, bro, and the referee yelled, "Kobe died." I'm like, what the
Kobe
fuck?
Died? Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, no.
I was gonna shout paintballs.
We were actually talking about that the other day, and it's just that's probably the worst thing that's happened this year. It's just
I was having the conversation with one of my friends a few days ago, and he said that he believed that the timeline diverged. We entered the darkest timeline back in 2016 when David Bowie died.
Yeah, it's the Twilight Zone right now, dude.
Yeah.
It's something weird's going on. It's just
I mean,
I don't know.
Have you heard the whole thing of, hey man, they say 2012 never happened, but have you felt alive since?
Right, I have heard about that. They've also said the dyslexic Mayan who meant to write 2021 instead of 2012, which is now I'm starting to wonder. Now there are actual thoughts going through my head what if that actually is the case? They didn't know about dyslexia back then. But
I think we're all in middle school when the whole 2012 the world's gonna end was about to happen. But what were your thoughts in your middle school mind?
Oh,
I hope so.
I was a little terrified, not gonna lie. At first I was nah, and then that fucking movie with John Cusack came out, the 2012 one, and I was just
that was such a shitty movie.
It was, but it came out, and as a kid, you're not looking at the movie for quality. You're just holy fuck, the entire time, So,
I don't know if you remember, and I don't mean to cut you off, but before that movie came out, there was the Large Hadron Collider that people were like, "Oh my god, this is gonna end the world."
The LGC. But the LGC doesn't have the power to actually produce anything dangerous.
No, I know, but I remember I was in Pennsylvania at the time with my family, and we literally, my family got drunk because they thought that, oh man, if it happens, they at least want to go out on a bang or something like that. And you don't want to know what? Nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see in 2021.
We'll see. But yeah, no, the LGC thing was just people concerned that it could create a black hole or something of that nature, which you can't.
Man, the only black hole out here is in Donald Trump's heart.
Right. It's the only place.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He said it, man. Did anyone notice that Chase glitched out of the
Yeah.
chat.
I was waiting for y'all to say something like that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I assume that his internet connection died, but
He said he'll be back on.
I miss seeing his shower, bro. His like shower background, bro, in the bathroom.
It's great.
Yeah.
Dude, his computer's sitting on a desk. Isn't that amazing? Like, he has a desk in the fucking...
he has a desk in the bathroom.
It's technically a makeup table, but, like, he's using it as a desk, yeah.
Like, what if someone has to knock, bro, to use the bathroom? Like, is there another one in the house? Like,
Yeah, there's, like, I think, like, another bathroom or, like, 3, I'm not entirely sure. The house is massive. It's not his.
You think
he lives with his girlfriend.
oh, you think he puts like a sign on the bathroom saying like I'm doing a podcast, like don't come in?
I thought about doing that on my door.
Yeah,
I was
about
gonna do
doing
that too.
I think we've all thought about it.
I mean, my dad kind of like comes in and out because we're in the process of kind of basically switching rooms. He's moving out of this room. I'm moving into it. But a lot of his stuff is still in here, so he'll like barge through at 7 a.m. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to sleep, man.
He just
And he's just like, I don't give a fuck. I gotta go to work.
Yeah, no,
that's sad as
if
fuck.
one of my parents walks in, I just kind of like do the shooing motion, like very quietly, to try and get him to move. They understand it. They see the microphone in front of me. They're like, oh, he's recording.
Yeah, but you've been recording stuff basically since you were a kid.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, that's just my go-to. So they get it, you know. They understand kind of my usual.
Now, when did you actually start recording things, though?
I
I know I've seen the videos of you, like, with the action figure reviews back when you were 10 years old.
oh, that's a mood.
Yeah. I started pretty young. Let's see. I started. I want to say in like 20. I made my first account in 2008, and then that one got deleted, and then I made a new one in 2009, and that's the one that's still up currently. And that one I just started basically, you know, I wanted to do like action figure reviews, very simple things just to get people invested. Because, you know, back in those years, there action figure reviewers were also really popular for whatever reason. Some people called like Sean Long, which you probably don't know, but there were other YouTubers that had like, you know, over 100,000 subscribers, and they were doing pretty well, you know, by 2009 standards. So, you know, I jumped on that. And then, you know, slowly it just progressed into kind of a love for filmmaking in general. You know, basically I love every aspect of the medium when it comes to movies, broadcasting, whatnot. So I started with that, and then I slowly moved into short films. And, you know, you were there for that part of my life.
Yeah.
So you know how that, you know, aspect.
I know. I remember sweating my ass off on your roof.
Yeah. That day was great.
Yeah.
That day was fucking great.
We were planning on recording a little segment on top of Joseph, because Joseph lives in an apartment building. We were planning on recording on top of it, so we literally like basically, I don't want to say broke into the roof, but we went somewhere where we weren't supposed to. We were trespassing, and his landlord like came up there and was like, "Oh, you guys can't do this. Like, you guys can't be up on the roof. You can't record." I guess the entire time we'd been making a shit ton of noise for the people below us.
Yeah, because we had the dolly up there. We had a dolly, so the tripod was on wheels. So as we were like rolling it across, we weren't really taking into account the fact that that's creating like, you know, vibrations. So apparently some people's like frames or like portraits of, I don't know, their dogs and shit just fell off the wall.
Oh my god! Oh my.
So
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we were like, oh well, fuck, we fucked up. But yeah, and then we all got kicked off, so we weren't able to shoot that scene. But we did have like a, what was the idea again, Laz? Wasn't it like we were gonna?
Oh, it was
spaceman or something, right?
Yeah. So the idea was that this guy goes up onto the roof, and he ends up. There's like a trap door that, you know, you flip up the hatch, and you know that's how you get in. And he essentially accidentally like locks himself onto the roof. And, you know, his friend, you know, leaves or whatever, goes to do his thing. And so when he he basically is up on that roof for so long that he passes out. And like when he wakes up, there's like an astronaut there from the future who's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, why are you still here? And it was that's what I remember from it. That was also like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was basically the general gist of it. We had a whole bunch of different like outlandish ideas. At the time, we were also filming a movie called The Guard, which we never managed to finish, just because of a whole bunch of different issues. But like that was probably my biggest passion project at the time. And I remember Laz, you know, I brought him on as like a co-director, so I guess became his passion project too at the time.
I got really into making the guard, and I still want to do that one shot of like the top or the bottom top to up, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
No, yeah, we could still do it.
But
Because
Chase, you're back.
Yeah, he's back. We were talking about our old filmmaking days.
I heard it. The camera doesn't turn on for a minute, so I've been kind of spying on the conversation while I waited on it.
Nice.
It's okay. It's probably not the first time you've been spying on me.
I've been
what is that? Jesus Christ.
Anyhow,
What was I saying? No. So I mean, yeah, the guard was basically our passion project, but I mean, maybe one day we'll finish it. We just got to basically recast everybody. So that's not an easy endeavor.
So if you're listening to this and you're in the New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania area, and you'd like to be part of not a fan film, a short film that people who don't really know what they're doing are making, hit us up. Yeah, Chase, are you doing the whole emo cut thing over there?
I'm just brushing my hair.
Oh, I thought that you were...
Is that okay?
No, it's not. It's not okay.
No.
I don't want you to brush your hair. Your hair must be unruly at all hours of the day, or else...
Bro, show us that brush right now.
This
that
brush,
sparkly?
this pink one, boom, look at that.
Bro, I love it.
Is that
It looks
Lily's brush?
bedazzled.
It's because I'm fabulous.
By the way, wait, don't you still have that poster on your Instagram, Laz? The one of the
Yeah,
guard?
actually I do.
Yeah. Oh man, I really do want to make it someday. We really do have to finish it. There was this scene I remember where we had one of our friends who was playing the leads. He walks in and he knocks on the apartment door in the opening scene, and Laz is like the guy that lives there. And he knocks on the door, and Laz comes out in just a bathrobe. That's all he's wearing is a bathrobe. And he comes out in a bathrobe. It's open, by the way. It's not cinched. And then he has the genius idea. This is an improv last idea of just putting some lotion on like his earlobe to make it look like he came on his ear, kind of like that Ben Stiller movie.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He hit some killer angles, Laz.
Yeah, this was back when it was a little heinous. It was a little heinous.
not
yeah,
heinous.
Oh man, Joe, heinous is practically a buzzword for us at Rowan in our circle of friends.
It's
heinous acts and nefarious deeds is essentially the motto.
I feel like Chase has beat you to that because he already says nefarious deeds.
Really?
He says that, and watch out for birds of prey.
Watch out for birds of prey.
Dude, those are my biggest fear. I let my
What
dog
kind of
out
birds?
sometime, and she's a little tiny dog. And when it's sunny out, I watch the skies to make sure she's not going to get swooped up.
Didn't your mom's
kind of
dog
dog
get
is it?
swooped up or something?
I don't know. It's just a tiny one.
Wait, did you say his mom got swooped up?
No. His mom's dog got swooped up or something.
Oh, okay.
No, my friend's mom's dog got swooped up.
Oh.
It was
Friends,
outside.
moms, cousins.
It was outside taking a poop, and a hawk came down from the sky and carried it away. They never saw it again.
What? Oh my!
What, how big was this dog?
Bro, I don't. That's.
Big enough to be carried away by a hawk.
It sounds so funny, but in reality, it's so messed up.
Yeah, that would be like traumatizing. I'm pretty sure I would go out with a gun and shoot every single fucking bird I saw
mom
after
told
that.
me that. His mom told me that after it happened, and I just busted out laughing.
Didn't they get like a new dog immediately after?
Chase is the kind of guy to laugh at a funeral.
It's a girl dog, but it looks like a man. It's one of those mustache dogs.
Whoa.
Oh, one of those mustache. What is a mustache dog?
You know the mustache dogs.
Like a
No, I
Yorkie?
don't.
You know the mustache dogs I'm talking about.
No,
Oh my god.
mustache
I'm just
dog.
imagining this right now.
It's got a
You just go
mustache.
inside to take a piss and you see your dog disappeared.
You're getting carried away.
You're like, what? Like,
What the fuck?
like, Fluffy,
To be
where'd
honest,
you go?
the
To be honest, the biggest shame there would be the fact that I didn't get it on camera. Because could you imagine that video would go viral?
Just put a GoPro right next to the dog. and
But
hope
nobody
the-
would
the
just sit
GoPro on
there
the
like
dog.
calmly like recording that shit. But but like
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's why you got to watch out for birds of prey. You didn't think they were an issue until now, but now you're gonna go outside and you're gonna watch the skies. Because all I'm saying is two hawks, okay, could carry a grown man away.
would two hawks ever decide to cooperate like that?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on in the hawk community.
Imagine if hawks get to that point
Dude, we'd all be dead in like a year.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know if they are getting to that point, though. Name one hawk technology.
What do you mean hawk technology?
Wings.
The Russians, no see.
The Russians.
Well, what are they developing over there in Hawkland? You know, are they having meetings? We don't know.
Oh, now that you mentioned Hawkland, that reminds me. Chase doesn't believe in France.
What?
I forgot.
You know, that's not the first time I've heard that. Holy shit. That's not the first time I've heard that in the last 2 days.
What, Wyoming?
I was just scrolling through Discord and I saw this conversation. It was like a Discord for some game that I play, and these two people were talking about how France doesn't exist, and it's just like it's
Is
like
Patrick in that Discord? Because
no,
he's really taken it to a different level.
nope. At least not that I know of. He could be in it. You're
Basically,
saying,
Wait,
is it West Germany?
no, South.
Who won the
Germany.
Bro,
It's
who won
South
the
Germany.
Bro, who
But
won
it-
the World Cup?
Who won the World Cup? South Germany.
Germany.
South Germany. Oh my god. So Germany fought Germany in the war?
No, Germany fought France in the war and they won and turned it into South Germany. Do you know this? Matt, I thought you were a history teacher.
Bro, I just want to know, I'm curious now.
I thought you were a history teacher.
Bro, I don't know what I am anymore.
You need to go back to university.
Bro,
Chase, I think you
That'd
gave him
be
an
called a
existential
university.
crisis.
Chase, I'm going to Phoenix now.
I'm going back to the University of Phoenix to learn history.
Dude, that's great.
Bro.
You need to learn some kind of history if you don't know this.
Bro, my favorite quote by the politician Dan Quayle, I love California, I practically grew up in Phoenix.
Wait, wasn't Dan Quayle the vice president of
Yes.
HW?
Yeah.
Oh, he was the dude that got like pwned at the debates in the what was it in '89? It's like you're no Jack Kennedy.
That's the first time I've heard pwned in so long.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
did you
Jesus, did you just say pwned?
Yeah, it
Out
did.
loud?
It happened in the '90s. I might as well, use a relevant
I'm
term.
fixing to get on the airplane and punch you in the head.
I'm gonna risk getting coronavirus to travel all the way from Texas to New Jersey just so that I can knock you upside the head with my goddamn nutsack
bro,
for saying that.
I didn't say nutsack. No
So-
nutsacks will be involved. That was all the last thing.
Yeah, that
So
was
if I
the last
hired
thing.
2 Eagles, would they carry me from New Jersey to Texas?
If you
I
hire
don't know,
them,
but
Maybe.
but
You
here's the
don't want them
question.
to figure out they can do that. Matt, look, you don't want them to figure out they can do that because they're going to band together and they're going to spread it among their Eagle buddies and people will be getting carried off. And you would have done that.
The national, the bird, the country will just turn against us.
yeah, exactly. Our national bird would be our greatest enemy.
I would think that the Eagles and the Hawks would have like some kind of gang war going out.
Make that a short film, please.
Just like bird gang up.
a fight between the two factions. What about Falcons? Do they count?
Falcons are a neutral third
Falcons count
party.
any bird of prey. I said bird of prey. I'm just naming the
Well,
most
Laz
common.
just said Falcons are a neutral third party.
Yeah. We're
Well, they
talking-
have their own faction. They have their own faction.
Okay, so in
So
this
Hawks
Are
and,
the Bloods and the Crips and the Hells Angels? Is the Hells Angels a neutral third party, or is it just a third faction of people?
They're Falcons.
I'm not really too well versed
No,
in,
but
in
Hawks and Eagles are like the Coke and Pepsi of birds, okay? And then Falcons, I don't know, they're like fucking whatever.
They're Dr. Thunder.
Apples and oranges.
Where do pigeons fit in?
I don't. You know what's funny? I saw this meme
Those
recently
are
about
not birds
pigeons.
of prey.
About how like you don't see pigeons in the wild anymore at all. Do you think that
Well-
they've completely adapted to just human ecosystems, or is that just a fucking myth? Like that they're not in the wild
I
anymore?
don't know, man. Do I look like a goddamn pigeon?
I'm just asking. Like, have you
No.
seen them in like national parks or anything? When was the last time you saw a pigeon in the wild?
Would you want to see a pigeon in the wild, though?
I wouldn't. That would ruin the wild.
I would be disappointed if I saw a pigeon in the wild.
I'd be like, that's not what
Yeah.
I wanted to see today.
Do you know that doves and pigeons are the same thing?
Yeah.
No.
Well, go fuck yourself then. Fine.
No, they're not.
I'll take my facts somewhere else.
No, they're not.
I knew that.
I don't believe you. How about that?
They look exactly the same.
That doesn't
So
mean they are the same.
They are the same bird.
No.
You know what? I don't need to deal with this pigeon slander right
You know
here.
who's smarter than you, Laz?
Yeah,
Google.
I'll call Mike Tyson on your ass.
Because he's an expert in doves and pigeons.
Yeah, he has
I
the
would
show.
say he
has the
probably
show.
is.
He's got a his best friend's a pigeon. and he's played by
What is
Norm
it?
Macdonald.
Are doves and pigeons.
Mike Tyson's in a bird watching club.
I'm sure he is. Didn't he have like that reality show where he just like pet pigeons all day?
I just remember seeing him in The Hangover.
I first saw him when he bit some dude's ear off.
Well, that's the classic.
When they stole Mike Tyson's tiger in The Hangover.
Oh man, that movie was a classic without a doubt. I never actually watched the second or third ones, but
Yeah, dude,
You
he
don't
had
have
a
to.
show about pigeons. It was called Taking on Tyson. It was only one season.
I wonder why.
I thought it would be
Pigeon?
I thought it'd be called Picking on Pigeons.
This is the famously tough Mike Tyson cradling a pigeon in the same hands that helped him become an all-time boxing champ. That's like the synopsis.
Who thought of that? That's so
Well,
beautiful.
It's 'cause
Actually,
he loves
I,
pigeons.
no, I
He's not
remember
pigeon.
reading in about this, and the reason Mike Tyson is so into pigeons is because apparently he was bullied when he was growing up, and he would spend so much time on the rooftops of wherever the hell he grew up, and he would basically take care of pigeons and feed them, and they were like his friends. I'm not even kidding.
Bro. So Laz, she was like the woman from Home Alone.
Suppose so. To be honest, I haven't seen that movie actually. I'm pretty sure Home Alone was a fever dream.
The first one or the second one?
All of them.
Fair enough.
Have you seen Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, I have. Lately, yeah, he actually looks better than he did,
It's in a, American Horror Story, I think.
Probably the most probably the most impressive thing about these captions is the fact that they actually recognized Macaulay Culkin and capitalized it and everything.
Yeah, I know, that's actually...
Spelled it correctly.
Bro, wait, that's how you spell Macaulay? What?
Yeah.
You learn new things every day.
It didn't do it when Matt.
No, because you have to say. Check this out. You have to say Macaulay Culkin. There you go.
Macaulay Culkin.
No, we're not doing this.
Come on, man.
Stop.
Just say it one more time.
Macaulay Culkin. No.
Hey!
Muck.
Culkin Macaulay. Oh wow, it works that way too.
Stop. This is-
Muck. Fuck, dude.
Why did you say muck?
Muck.
He says oof.
Muck.
And I
These
oop.
captions are not representing me very well.
I get.
This is
Oh, now
fucking-
it represents you well.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, I love this. I love it. I wonder what words it actually censors and which ones it doesn't. Like what it considers. You said
Con.
cunt.
Wait. Here, the best way to figure this out is the 7 words you can't say on TV.
Oh, George
Egregious.
Carlin. Yeah.
Anus.
I was actually
Egregious.
watching a lot of George Carlin recently. It's
That's nice.
very good. So the words are shit, piss, fuck, cock, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Wow, there's a lot of
Hey,
stars.
tits is fine. Tits is fine.
You
Yeah.
can say tits all you want.
Oh my lord.
Tits. Oh my god, this has devolved into like caveman humor.
Wait, stit. Tip backwards? No.
Tits?
I don't think it's gonna start recognizing things backwards though. We're not there yet. We don't have the technology.
Tits.
Race car
Tonight.
backwards is race car.
Oh, tonight. Fine.
All right, this has just become like us fucking around with the captions.
It's fun though. You can't deny it.
I know.
When Jay said muck, a part of me just died.
Muck. Oh,
Much mark? What?
dude, that should
Much
be your new
more.
catchphrase. Like every time, like you have to say muck now, no matter what.
Oh my god.
Muck.
It won't do it anymore. It said it once for me, and now it's doing like Mark Moan and fucking.
Someone clip that. Someone clip that moment, please.
I will. I am actually. You know what, Laz? We just found our first clip. Set up a YouTube channel. We're doing it.
I thought you had the YouTube channel.
I have the YouTube channel, but you should make a separate one for clips. You know. You know how Joe Rogan has like the main one, and then he's got the separate one. You know how he
Joe Rogan has a lot of things that we don't have yet, like sponsors.
and
Yes,
Jamie.
Elon Musk
You know.
And
smokes.
JB.
I
like
like
it.
it. Podcast.
Dude, whenever I watch the Joe Rogan podcast, it seems like he treats Jamie like a bitch.
Because he's an employee. He's not like
yeah.
part of the gang. You know.
I mean, I understand that. It's just more so like, I don't know. I just feel like Jamie should get some more respect out there.
Look, I support the way he treats Jamie. And Joe, if you're watching this, we would love to come on your podcast.
Joaquin? Who's Joaquin?
Jamie and Joaquin.
Joaquin Rogan. We would love to come on your podcast.
Look, bottom line is we're not shit talking Rojogan. We'd love to be on at some point.
Rojogan.
Jogan.
It's Joaquin.
Oh god, that's great.
Jogan sounds like some kind of weird ass like shipping thing.
Does it?
Oh my.
Dude, what do you think about Joe Rogan getting bought out by Spotify?
Is it being bought out or is it making a deal?
Well, he
though?
made a deal with them. He's getting $100 million out of it.
Yeah, no, I know. I just mean more so. That's the question that we need to raise, I guess. I mean, I personally never. I don't think I'll watch it as much because it's on Spotify. I'll probably even though I do have Spotify, I just like the YouTube setup for podcast, and I feel like it really it fits his show a lot better because it's all video.
Right.
Like the video component of Joe Rogan's podcast is a big part of it. Whereas, and I know that they're still planning on offering that on Spotify, but I just don't think it'll be the same.
Yeah, no, I think people's incentive to want to go and watch it is going to change. I don't know if it'll just dead out, stop, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be affected somewhat.
I don't care.
Well, you don't really watch it all that much, to be fair. So.
Well, still, when I do watch it, I don't care where I'm watching it, and I have more access to Spotify, so maybe I'll watch it more. You don't know me.
Well,
you don't know me. You don't know me at all.
As long as Joey Diaz stays on YouTube, I think we're all good.
Joey Diaz is a national treasure.
He is a national treasure.
So do you think podcasts gonna be more popular on Spotify now, or still be the same on YouTube since Joe Rogan is moving to Spotify?
That's a good question. I go ahead, Les.
I listen to podcasts on Spotify, but they're audio based, and to be honest, I listen to them on Spotify because they're not really on any other medium. They're kind of like they're like podcasts about the Supreme Court and shit like that. But yeah, Chase, you want to fight about it, huh?
No. I didn't peg you for listening to podcasts about the Supreme Court. I'm proud of you. I was proud of you. Why are you fucking picking a fight with me, you ass?
I'm gonna pick a fight with you anyways.
Oh, you ass.
Lazzy ass, man.
Continue. I don't want to do this with you today, Laz.
Oh no, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind.
No.
I mean,
it's hot as balls in this room right now.
To be fair with you, I think podcasts. I think Spotify's starting to really build a medium for podcasts on their app. It's just something that they're kind of working on at the moment, and I think it's going to improve over the next coming months. But and Joe Rogan coming on there is obviously it's obviously a marketing tactic, I think, on Spotify's part, because they're trying to kind of get the show on the road, and what a better way to do that than to get Joe Rogan on your platform. So it works out, but I don't know if it'll blast off.
Wait, who's trying to get the show on the road?
Spotify.
What show?
Their whole podcast platform, because it's basically new for their platform, given how long they've hosted them. So
yeah, I didn't know that. I thought
you're
that
just
they've always
talking
had
about
podcasts.
just the podcast element of it.
Yeah.
Are they gonna introduce the video aspect of what the podcast?
Yeah, that's new.
Apparently, yeah.
That hasn't been done on their app before, so that's definitely a new aspect, and I'm pretty sure people are pretty excited for that.
It's what if they?
When are they gonna have a Pornhub app for Roku?
For Roku.
Yeah, when are they gonna have a Pornhub app for the Apple Store?
Yeah.
True. We both everybody there fucked up saying Pornhub, which is great. But
what you want me to say, Spank
I like
Bang?
how it blanks out Pornhub.
Didn't Laz, you once recommended Spank Bang to my dad. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because I remember that conversation. He was talking about how he still uses YouPorn or some shit.
Yeah.
Or RedTube.
Oh my god, that's some old school shit.
Yeah, he uses YouPorn, which is don't ask how I know that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you know that, Joseph? You want to talk about it?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Have to talk.
He doesn't.
You want to talk about your dad's porn consumption?
Yeah, he doesn't delete his history. That's about it.
Oh Oh, he's a brazen man.
If
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
find what he
Jesus
watched on that one day,
Christ, dude.
2012.
Berg is actually a big fan of Johnny Sins.
Bro, the memes are amazing.
Yeah, the memes are fucking great. He's an astronaut, he's a doctor, he's everything.
Is he?
Bro,
Is he-
Johnny
Yeah.
Sins has like so many occupations.
Hold on, 1 second. I gotta look up Johnny Sids because
Like literally, he's an engineer, a doctor, a dentist, karate master, school teacher, pizza delivery guy, a plumber, like many things, man.
He's a master of all.
Apparently, he like died of cancer, but he was nursed back to health by a local nurse.
What?
A local nurse. A local nurse, that's a great way to put it.
A local nurse. That's the
Who
best.
are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure we're just talking about porn at this point.
Hey man, you ever seen
Oh,
the
is
video?
it a porn star?
Yeah, Johnny Sins. You don't know who Johnny Sins is?
No.
Alright, Google Johnny Sins right now.
I don't
Google.
Watch I don't watch
Oh,
your
I think I
regular,
know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't watch your regular white people porn.
There's a video.
What kind of porn
like-
do you watch then?
I don't
Oh,
want to
no.
talk about it.
Oh, dude, Chase
Fair.
has like this ambiguous fetish that he like keeps telling us he has, but doesn't want to tell us what it is.
It's
Definitely
nugget porn.
He definitely loves sucking toes.
Oh no, you got to revert that one somewhere else.
That's Joseph over there, apparently.
I wasn't going to say your name. I wasn't
Joseph-
going to say your name, Joseph. It was Laz this
I know,
time.
Laz, you fuck ass. Anyhow,
It's okay. We can edit that out.
no, we can't. Can you
He's
see
an
my-
astronaut.
Can you see my screen, Chase?
Is he an astronaut? Who is it? Oh my-
Is that the guy?
Yeah, that's Johnny
Bro.
Sids.
Oh my
That's-
god.
That's the man, bro.
That's the man right there, man.
That's crazy. We're blowing up Johnny Sid's spot, huh?
How long did it take you to find a picture that you could show on the screen?
Yeah, how
Um,
many
Actually, if you go on Google and type his name in, he's clothed in literally all of them.
Bro, show the one of the astronaut.
Oh, let me see if I can fucking find it. That was hilarious. Hold on.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Dude, how many characters has he fucking played?
Too many, bro.
Dude, it's an iPhone case. Oh shit.
Bro, that's a famous picture of him, bro.
Oh, let me see if I can get it up here.
That's a
Oh.
famous picture.
Yeah, Joseph. You got Matthew
Oh
Matthew
my
Botros.
god.
What's that?
You got Matthew Botros in the YouTube chat, by the way.
Oh shit, do we?
Yeah, I just checked it like a minute ago.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull that up. To be honest, I still think that Jamie should get more recognition for his work.
We're doing a lot of plugs for Rogan on this, and he
Yeah.
for sure has more people than we
He
do.
has more clout, definitely.
Yeah, way more.
And more DMT.
That's true. Which, by the way,
I've-
Chase, hold on. We have a story time, actually. Now that you fucking said that. You let out the fucking dogs. Chase, you've done DMT. Tell us about
I
your
don't know what you're
experience.
talking about. I've never done drugs in my life.
Tell us about your experience.
I don't know what you're. Look, here's why I'm not gonna tell you. I will tell you another time when it comes up naturally.
Oh, come on.
Because-
How is that not natural?
That wasn't natural because you trapped me.
So pretty much Chase can be Joe Rogan since he's done DMT.
Yeah, he's done DMT. He could be Joe Rogan. That's the only qualification you need. You
Do I look like Joe Rogan now?
gotta
Yes.
shave your whole head.
You look like the guy that hosted Fear Factor.
Yeah, right.
Dude, you remember we watched Fear Factor for like a week straight? Chase.
Yeah.
That show was so funny.
We binge watched it. Dude, it was great. We played a game, so every time we watched Fear Factor, we tried to like guess whenever it was that Joe was high on the show, which is
Oh,
basically like 24/7. So it wasn't very hard to figure out.
I'm pretty sure he's announced, like he said that on a podcast at one point. Was
Yeah,
that
no,
he
that's
was
why we started like looking to make sure. We wanted to see which ones he was obviously high in.
The only Fear Factor episode I remember was the one where they brought the WWE superstars on.
I don't think I ever saw that one. Did you?
It's a damn shame.
Did I send you that link? There's a video I found online where Vince McMahon introduced God to the ring. Did you?
What?
No, but I definitely believe that Vince McMahon would do something like
yeah,
that.
he did. It was like in 2006, and I guess I don't know why he did it, but he was standing in the ring, and he's like, "We have to introduce our holy warrior," and in comes like it's just a spotlight pointing at nothing, and it's
Imagine.
Oh,
Booker T comes out.
yeah. No, it's just, and then God comes up, and then like Vince McMahon threatens to fight God. Dude,
Only Vince McMahon would think that he could fight God.
oh, dude, it reeks of coke. Whoever wrote
Yeah,
that
we needed
segment.
we needed him in 2012.
Dude, no, I know. Oh my God, it's wonderful. It's honestly the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Where's Vince McMahon right now?
Uh,
I wonder what he's doing at this very moment. He's probably taking a shit.
probably.
Wiping
Honestly,
his,
Missing money on poor people.
wiping his ass with $100 bills.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants, dude.
right? I
He's
mean,
probably shoving a rosé up his ass and fucking doing coke off a stripper's asshole.
dude, how much coke do you think McMahon does? Because
Finger popping your asshole.
Not enough.
not enough. Really? Do you think that's the
Not enough,
that's
bro.
the answer to go with? Dude, McMahon, no, his face just screams coke. Come on, you know
Him
he
and
does.
Triple H.
His face screams many things.
That's true. His face screams for help.
No, that's mine.
Is
Oh
it?
my god.
My face screams for help every single time I look in the mirror.
Oh my god.
Dude, holy shit, Vince McMahon is worth $2.1 billion.
And he introduced God at one point in a coke rage. That was amazing. Dude, I didn't know that you could get $2 billion by just screaming all the time.
He looks so ugly.
What's Alex Jones' net worth, out of curiosity?
Oh no, not Alex Jones.
I'm curious, what's his net worth? How much money does the Jones man make?
The Jones man.
I'm looking it up.
I'm Jonesing to know.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Jonestown?
Oh man.
Net
The Nike thing.
net worth.
I'm pretty sure he's a multimillionaire though.
I'm sure he
He complained.
has to be.
He used to complain about like, oh yeah, you know, we're barely solvent, we're barely making ends meet over here. Where when he was like wearing a $20,000 Rolex.
10 million.
He's worth $1 million?
10 million.
Oh, 10 million. That's a lot for a dude who just, yells while wearing tinfoil hats.
I think he should be worth at least 7 billion.
You know what? With the amount of entertainment factor that he brings to shit, I gotta say, maybe it's a little worth it. Do you remember that episode in Joe Rogan where he was on the podcast and he's like, I gotta say, I'm a little retarded. Right before he said his thing, and Joe like fucking broke into laughter.
We should call up Joe Rogan and see if he wants to do a merge podcast with us.
Yeah, might as
Because
well.
we've been talking about him a lot. We have talked about Joe Rogan more than we have talked about anybody else.
To be fair, this is the only episode
Alright.
where we've done that much.
Okay. Topic shift. How do you guys feel about mandatory? I had nothing there. Mandatory.
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 The government did it.
The government did it.
The
I was
government
actually-
did it.
I was actually-
Probably the aliens plausible deniability.
You know what? I'm gonna bring in a taboo question just to kind of make the conversation a bit more interesting. What do you guys think about psychedelics being legal or becoming legal at some point?
I mean, when I was in Amsterdam, mushrooms are legal over there, and you can kind of buy them in these things called smart shops, which it's very interesting because a lot of the things in there probably will not make you very smart. But that being said, you can buy them basically, like in a store, and I mean, it seemed like it was fine. I don't know how that would really pan out in America. I didn't really see people who were obviously tripping, just walking around, but I did just see like, I don't know, the entire culture of the city just kind of seemed like it was very geared towards drug use, but I guess that would change if you legalized it on a countrywide base, but I don't know, it would be interesting to see, but I don't know if it would be a good thing necessarily, like to have it be, like to basically, for it to be something that you could just purchase in a store.
Right, and that's where I think it's
Was.
that's where I think that's the difficult question, is the fact that since they're kind of unpredictable substances and they last so long, it's harder for people to really use them responsibly in any way, or at least it's harder to put that kind of expectation on the populace.
Yeah, well, there's also a lot of people out there that probably shouldn't be using them.
Right. No, I agree with you. There are definitely people that shouldn't be putting psychedelics into their system.
What about you, Burke?
Honestly, Yeah, have you guys like seen the Netflix thing?
I saw
I
it
did. I
pop
watched
up,
it.
but
Yeah, I did watch it.
That's what I thought about. Like they were like, I think if it's used for like medical purposes, then maybe. But I feel like when you use it like recreationally, like I don't know, it can result in bad things. But just don't drive. Just don't drive.
Right.
Why is it just my face now?
What's that?
Why is it just my face on the video thing now?
Oh,
Because
is
you're
my
beautiful.
camera not on?
I don't know, Joseph, but I'm only looking at my face.
Oh, that's
It's freaking me
unfortunate.
out,
Well,
man.
go to the options. There should be like a thing that tells you to change the layout if you want to change it. That could be it. But what was I saying? Yeah, no. I also think it just depends on the substance that you're doing, like what gets legalized. Because mushrooms are what, like 4 hours, So that also, depending on how long they last or go through your system, could also depend on how they get legalized. But yeah, I don't know about recreational use. I think they'd just be exclusive to medical treatments, things of that nature. If you guys watch the documentary, right? So I think they mentioned like, what was it? What's the word that I'm trying to find here? Wasn't it like a retreat or something like that they had in mind for people?
what, like a retreat where people go to take mushrooms or take hallucinogens and then
Right.
peace out after?
Right, exactly. So like, and then they have like professionals around them that know exactly how to guide them through that experience.
Yeah.
So like there's no problem with that. I think that's beneficial, especially for people that need that kind of experience. But yeah, recreational use it might be obviously more of a difficult topic. I don't know, man.
I remember like I was watching the Netflix documentary and there's like this singer called Sting,
Yeah,
whatever.
Sting.
And,
Yeah,
like,
the lead singer of the Police.
Yeah, he literally went to like Mexico to like do some psychedelics with like this tribe, and like he like went on top of a mountain or something. They like poured like some animal's blood on him.
It was like goat blood. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very aggressive.
Could you imagine being that? Like that? To be honest, I could not imagine myself in that moment. It's like, oh man, these dudes are pouring some goat's blood on me. I'm in the middle of Mexico on some kind of mountain. It's hot as balls out here. What the fuck is going on?
Right. No, I would imagine so. I
I'd be
mean,
paranoid.
would you guys ever do something like DMT or like ayahuasca, 5-MeO?
No.
Probably not, to be honest.
What about you, Les?
I can neither confirm nor deny whether or not I would.
I would never do those things in my life.
Ever.
Ever.
Chase,
Yeah.
I detect a lie. Just saying. But I don't know, man.
Look, here's the thing, man. I don't think they're for everyone.
Mhm.
Okay. So you gotta be careful with who you're doing it to, and I don't think people should be condemned for doing them, but I don't think people should be condemned for not doing them either. It's just whatever your personal preference is, or whatever you're ready for.
Yeah.
That's probably the most positive
Yeah.
outlook.
I think you just gotta be in the right mindset. Like I think when you do it, I don't know if I can be right with saying this. You gotta have like a goal or something. Like what
Yeah, that's fair.
you want out of it.
Right. No,
For sure.
I think that anytime you're going to trip or do something like that, you should have some kind of inherent goal or need that you're trying to satisfy or you're trying to
It's
look
like
for.
Yeah. If you're just doing like a psychedelic, just do a psychedelic, then chances are you're probably gonna have a bad trip.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sting said that at the beginning of the documentary. He's like, if you're looking to like find answers for yourself, you'll probably have a good time. But if you're just doing it to get fucked up, you will get fucked up.
Yeah.
So and I think that way is true for most people. What did you think about that documentary, by the way?
It was actually pretty good. It was actually really good, surprisingly. Like, I didn't know Ben Stiller like
Did I?
Did
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
Yeah, I
That
didn't
was-
think
that was
so
funny.
either. I mean, he had a negative experience though, so but still, like, I didn't think he was the type of person to ever like even consider trying it. Although I like the conversation he had with his dad, Jerry.
Oh,
Stiller.
yeah. He's like, yeah, Dad, I'm on acid, and I was like, what's that?
Yeah, he's like LSD. He's like, what? He's like, I'm having a bad trip. He's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I once smoked a cigar and got sick for 2 days when I was 12.
Oh man.
I remember that. That was a really good. I was actually like quite pleasantly like surprised by that. It was like really good.
Yeah, no, that was good. I liked it because what they were trying to do was like show you people that are likable and kind of giving you like their perspective on their experiences with it. But it didn't really like give you any insight onto what the substances actually are. Like most of it was really focused on acid and just acid specifically. Like they occasionally mention mushrooms and like DMT or these other compounds, but they mostly stuck to acid, and they never really like explained anything about those compounds. They mostly just let people tell their stories, which is fine. I like that. It wasn't like an educational doc. It was more like a feel-good story, if that makes sense. But I liked it.
100%.
Yeah.
I think like towards the end it got a lot better. There's one guy, I can't even say his name. It's like Deepak Chopra or something. There was like this like Indian guy at the end or
Dude,
whatever.
the fucking...
Deepak Chopra.
He was savage as fuck, bro.
You should have seen the captions when you said his name.
Bro, I didn't want to know.
Deep Crack Chopra.
Deep crack cobra.
Deep crack. You know, it's funny. Wilson actually found one of that dude's books in his backyard randomly, like years ago, and like it was a really rainy day, and it just popped up in his backyard.
Dude, it's a sign. Did Wilson read it?
It changed his
I think
life.
he did, yeah. And he didn't like. He thought it wasn't like a real person. He just thought it was like a book of fiction or something. And then he watched the documentary. He's like, "Holy fuck, that's the dude on the book!" And then he explained the whole story to me. But yeah, you were saying, Matt. What did you think about him?
I mean, like Deepak Chopra, whatever you say his name, like what he had to say was pretty like insightful. Like honestly, I'll be real with you, I forgot, but like I remember like when I was watching him, like damn, this dude, he knows.
Yeah, no,
like, he has a good understanding on it.
I agree. I think that he definitely had a different perspective on like just the way that people view reality in general. And he broke it down. He made it digestible for people that don't even do psychoactive drugs. You know, it was a very well articulated statement, I gotta say.
Just like some parts it was just like comedians talking about like Sarah Silverman. She was like talking about how she like took it in a restaurant, and then like they were like running to her apartment with like some homeless people.
Yeah, and then they tried to drive back, and they forgot how cars worked.
Oh, yeah, and they didn't even see like the stoplight. It was like in the distance.
Yeah. No, there was a dude that said like he was driving in his car, and then the road just like disappeared, and all he could see was like a tiny little white skull in the distance, and then the skull, like the skull opened, like the mouth open, and in the mouth was the road.
Like, bro, I can only imagine like in your head you're freaking out, but in reality there's just like 20 cars beeping at you to go.
Right. Yeah. Like I don't drive on acid. That's
I cannot imagine.
Just take a walk.
We can't stress that
walk
enough.
around.
Don't drive on acid. Chase.
What?
Don't drive on acid. That's primarily aimed at you.
Look, people do dumb things. You learn and you move on with your life.
Oh my god.
There's a story there, but it's up to him if he wants to say it or not. So
That's my story.
fair enough.
You do dumb things, you change, and you move on with your life.
The more you know.
The more
The more you know. Exactly.
So I don't know, guys. It's been. I was gonna bring up. I had on my little topic list here. I had Bob Lazar highlighted for Chase because I wanted him to go on a fucking tangent.
I only know Bob Lazar from a line in a Clutch song, like the band.
Really.
Yeah.
He's one of those big like UFO conspiracy guys. He's one of those guys that claims that he worked on like one of them, you know.
Okay.
You know.
I
I don't even know who this dude is.
He was on I don't want to say the
He was on the guy's podcast.
He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Thanks for bringing it up again.
Jay, stop selling out, man.
You can't do that, man. Every time you say his name, I lose $1.
Every single time you say Joe Rogan, a puppy dies.
Oh, bye.
A puppy gets stolen by an eagle.
Yeah.
every single time. But Bob Lazar was on the show, and he was just talking about like how he worked on this top secret program working on UFOs, and how he like was also responsible for predicting like an element, even though that's not true. But some people
Well, it
believe.
was true.
Well, we went through this, Chase. That the whole
And you
element thing was
proved
bullshit.
nothing. You made yourself look like a goose.
No, you agreed with us at the end. What are you talking about?
I didn't agree with you at the end.
Yes, you did.
No, then you were talking to somebody else because I think what
We
you
were
were
all in the
saying
car.
was
Remember, we were
ridiculous.
talking about it.
You were ridiculous.
Okay, so as you can tell, Chase is a Bob Lazar sympathizer. But whatchamacallit? What was it like Element 115 or something that he predicted?
Yeah, something like that.
So, do you guys know how like elements work?
Yeah, I used to be.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but it's not hard to predict an element because they all are just, when you find a new one, they're just placed in numerical order. So if someone goes
Basically, Joseph cannot see the fantastic in our life. It's all beep boop ones and numbers with him.
I only see things in binary.
Yeah.
I see.
It's fantastic.
There's no joy or amazement or wonderment. It's all gray.
Joy is a construct developed by the Soviet Union.
Where the fuck did this go?
I don't know, bro. Like outside my house, there's kids like riding scooters, and I'm just like concerned.
You're concerned for their safety? Or are you concerned because they're kids riding scooters?
Honestly, the second one. I hope they don't do a tail whip, bro.
Do you remember
What-
when
what
you used
is
to
that?
get hit in the ankle with razor scooters?
Yeah. Isn't that a tail whip? I think. At least I'm not gonna lie. I thought that's what they meant by a tail whip, but unless it's a trick.
I don't know what the
I
terminology is.
All right. I do remember. Speaking of scooters, this girl that I went on a date with, she eventually dated this dude who like his entire way of making money is by selling scooters. Like he makes a living through scooters,
That's a weird.
and that's it.
That's a weird.
It is a weird flex. I was like, damn, I don't even know how to feel about that. I don't know if I should feel like shit or like.
Like, I don't know if I should like dap him up, be like, "Yo, you're the man," or be like, "Wow, you really do that." Like, I don't even know how to feel.
I think it's awesome, and I support his scooter making 100%.
How long do you?
No,
think
I don't think he
that'll
makes
last?
the scooters. I think he just rides. Are there professional scooter riders out there?
Oh yeah, there are.
I think so.
Do you remember there
You
was a
should-
game for professional scooters back in like the 90s for the PlayStation 1?
You should find
Really?
out who he buys his scooters from, and we should get him as a sponsor.
All right.
Oh, dude, let's do that.
This podcast has been brought to you by Razor Scooters. Tail whip yourself in the fucking ankle. You know, however many
What a
times.
great advert, dude! You're the Don Draper of Razor
Don't
scooters.
talk shit about Razor. If we get them as a sponsor, then we don't want them to know that they hurt people.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want any scooter sponsorships. This fucking podcast is brought to you by BMX Gang.
BMX gang.
Old Spice.
Old
Yeah.
Spice.
Yeah,
Chase-
I fuck with Old Spice.
Dude, one of our, and like forgot what episode it was. Chase kept like plugging like different Christian religions, or was it we started with the Church of Latter-day Saints, and then we somehow ended up with Hinduism.
It's like
By the end.
sex or something.
What?
This segment's been brought to you by the Church of the Latter-day Saints. Ever thought that one wife wasn't enough? Well, the Mormons have got you covered there. Come on down to the Church of the Latter-day Saints, where you can fuck as many wives as you'd like.
That was
That
pretty
was
good, Les.
pretty much my ad too.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Gotta give you.
I mean,
that.
is there really any other selling point to? Never mind.
you get. To you get to be called a Mormon. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Why is
I
that
guess.
cool?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just assumed it would be.
Brought to you by the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
I forgot that's an actual
Oh,
religion.
Pastafarianism. You know, they actually tried to apply for exemption in your DMV like license photos so that people could wear those coolanders over their heads.
Really?
You know, like the strainers.
No. Stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they
yeah.
succeed?
I don't know, but I know that the proponents of Jediism also tried to do the same thing, but with the robes, like the hoods. You know, like the Jedi robes, how they have that hood.
Yeah. I don't know why anybody would promote that, because the Jedis are kind of dicks. But that's
They really are.
Bro. Touched by his noodly appendage.
yeah. That's what I feel like whenever I see the Jedi on screen. I'm like, these guys definitely raped a couple kids.
Jedi Epstein.
Jedi Epstein, yeah. Dude, is there a Jedi named Epstein? That'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
I don't know, but if there was, he definitely would have killed himself.
Oh my god. I love that.
Dude, that should have been the plot to episode 9. Epstein was behind everything. Well, that's the podcast, guys.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow, that was great.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next Wednesday.
That was. I mean, look, we had an insightful conversation, so it wasn't too terrible. we did well, but before we actually come to a close, because we are at an hour and 30 right now.
Yeah.
Before we do come to a close, I just wanted to ask Matt. Do you have anything you'd like to, plug? Anything you want to talk about? Anything that's going on in your life that you'd want to let everybody know about?
Hey man, right now I'm just getting used to being at home. Life after college, it's kind of weird, but yeah, eventually growing up. But it will all go well.
Fair enough. Laz,
What would you
since this
say-
is your first episode, what about you?
Hold on. I actually had something
Oh,
prepared
go ahead.
for this.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry. I would like to end the podcast with a quote by Matt Berg, actually, and it's "Touch elbows, the world's different now."
Oh shit, dude! You just quoted Matt. He's getting a Wikipedia article now.
Yeah, he's good. That's gonna get on his wiki quote. And then the other quote that I have here is, "I'm gonna kick your fucking teeth in if you don't stop dancing to bachata in the street."
Nice.
What the?
That's perfect, dude.
Just cut the.
So I was going through my notes on iCloud.
Chase, I've never let you plug anything. So how about you go ahead and plug something?
Yo, do you know how hard it is to see birds?
Hey, Laz, it's my turn to plug something. So I'm gonna plug something. We're gonna plug hair brushes, pink ones. Okay, those are pretty cool. We're gonna plug Samsung. Samsung's pretty cool. I'm just looking at things that are around me right now. I just wanted to take up the media space.
Good job.
Someone else can talk now.
All right, Laz, anything you want to plug?
No, not really, to be honest. This is the only thing I could plug.
Fair enough. All right, well, listen, guys, we had a great convo.
Oh, I want to plug one more thing.
Okay.
Why don't you plug this dick in your mouth?
No, thank you. I want to plug this podcast. If you're not listening to this podcast right now, but you're hearing this, then listen to this podcast. Figure that one out.
Thanks.
Fantastic job. You were the Don Draper of marketing. Anyhow. Yeah, it's been fun, guys. Seriously, I thoroughly enjoyed the podcast. I enjoyed our little conversation today. Hopefully we'll have everybody back on soon. Matt, I'm definitely open to having you back on at any point. So,
It was lovely meeting you, Matt, future teacher of children.
Hey, thank you. It was good meeting you guys. I've really enjoyed my time on this podcast.
I'm glad,
Thanks
man.
for coming on, Berg.
Definitely talk to you. Well, we'll definitely, hopefully, have you on again soon. Anyhow, guys, go ahead, Les, before we wrap up.
Well, no, I figured we'll probably just end up talking afterwards as well, after we stop going.
Yeah,
live.
but I gotta give the illusion that this is the very end of everything, because people like closure,
Oh man, somebody tell it to my ex.
All right, this is where it's ending. So,
Oh my god!
so, I'm gonna get a hate letter from his ex, but
No, man, she can't write.
So
Go ahead, end the episode, Joseph.
That was awkward silence.
The longer you do this, the longer I keep cutting in.
Just keep oh my! You just gotta.
All right, you've been watching the 54 podcast.
Can I do another plug?
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up! Stop.
You've watched the 54 podcast. It's been fun. Goodbye, everybody.